leadership straight from the desk of our dear old Governor Brown. It is the not-so-courageous story about how our green governor ignored his dastardly moral conscience in the face of the worst gas blowout in U.S. history, all to make his sister Kathleen millions of dollars. And it all started in 2015, when a massive cloud of benzene and methane erupted from the SoCal gas facility. Residents were getting sick immediately, but the governor was nowhere to be found. Residents came down with terrible symptoms: splitting headaches, nosebleeds, burning eyes, rashes, and more. And the government was hiding from the community, so the community rose up to fight.
Shut it all down! 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 Shut it all down!
And elected officials and Governor Brown were so surprised to see a quiet community fight so vigorously for their health and safety. It scared them to no end. So Jerry Brown called up his sister Kathleen Brown, and they made a plan.
Money, 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 money.
You see, Kathleen Brown was a powerful figure in her own right. She was the former state treasurer of California, and now she finds herself in a lucrative position on Sempra's board. The Brown family made their money on oil in the 1900s, and as governor, Jerry Brown expanded oil and gas wells in California by 21,000 wells. Despite his self-proclaimed role as a climate leader, they would make a great team to squash public outrage and help Sempra continue business as usual.
We've got it! The Aliso Canyon inaction plan!
After careful consideration, the Brown siblings put forward a plan so terrible, it just might work to keep the sickened community in check.
Inaction number 1! Delay government response for 75 days!
But after dozens of protests, Governor Brown finally declared a state of emergency on the blowout after 75 days. He would have done nothing if residents hadn't exposed his sister's seat on Sempra's board.
Inaction number 2! Authorize opening of Aliso Canyon without root cause analysis!
We still don't know what caused the blowout, and yet the state claims it's the safest facility in the country.
Inaction number 3! Expand the gas storage limit at Aliso Canyon! Fill her up!
Governor Brown helped fill the field up with more gas and got Aliso Canyon back to business again.
Inaction number 4! 1/3 of wells fall immediately! Do nothing! Nada!
The wells that are supposedly tested and safe don't work! Aliso Canyon should be shut down, but again, the government does nothing.
Inaction number 5! SoCal creates a gas shortage! Governor does nothing!
SoCal Gas takes 3 major pipelines offline in the winter during the highest annual use of gas all year, just to justify the need for Aliso Canyon, and the government does nothing to hold them accountable.
Inaction number 6! Mitigate the damage with cow farms!
In a settlement with the gas company, Governor Brown punishes SoCal Gas for causing the worst gas blowout in U.S. history by awarding them $34 million to invest in their cow fart scheme. You see, capture cow farts in the Central Valley, store cow farts in Aliso Canyon, burn cow farts in our homes. This enriches SoCalGas and doesn't help the community at all.
Inaction number 7. Delay Aliso Canyon shutdown for 10 years.
After 3 years of protest, Governor Brown directs his agencies to look at shutting Aliso Canyon down in 10 years. But it means nothing. And it's non-binding.
We're gonna be rich! The people can't
stop us now!
Money, money, money,
Money, money, money!
But the community had a plan. A growing movement of hundreds of organizations around the world started calling on Governor Brown to use his last months in office to be a real climate leader and end oil drilling in California and shut down Aliso Canyon. They called their movement Brown's Last Chance. And activists around the globe threatened to expose Brown as a climate phony and stage massive actions against his climate summit in San Francisco. You see, all Governor Brown cares about outside of his sweet, sweet oil profits is maintaining the impenetrable image as a climate leader on the international stage. He would do anything to protect it. And so the movement grew to attack his sister and his conflict of interest over Aliso Canyon. And the governor started to crack.
Step down, Kathleen Brown! Step down, Kathleen Brown!
The people power grew strong and mighty and came to directly challenge the power behind Sempra's sweet profits. The people organized and they rallied to expose the government's cozy relationship with SoCalGas.
Jerry Brown! You're my segment! Jerry Brown!
Governor Brown grew increasingly worried. How will this look to all the international dignitaries to have such a large movement pointing out his conflict of interest in climate hypocrisy? And so the people got organized and planned a massive direct action at the summit. But before the summit came to pass, Governor Brown made a sweeping announcement.
Jerry Brown! Shut it all down right now! Jerry Brown! Shut it all down right now!
Sister, you must resign from Sempra now. It's the only way to save my climate legacy.
Fine! Woo! Fine, I will! I've already made my millions!
And for my last act, I hereby declare with an executive order that Aliso Canyon will be closed immediately.
Victory at last! Victory at last! Governor Brown saves his climate legacy by moving to close Aliso Canyon. And in so doing, he saves countless lives from future cancers, from earthquakes, and from climate catastrophes. And I think I said, shut it all down!